Hello. After extensive discussions with my family and advisors, I've made a decision to make myself available for the 2004 NFL Draft. I feel I'm ready for the next challenge. These last 4 years at Oregon have been the greatest experience of my life, and I have so many people to thank for that. I'm really going to miss Oregon. I really appreciate Coach Bellotti giving me the opportunity to attend Oregon and play football, even though at that time I was not fully qualified. I will miss my coaches, especially Coach Greatwood, and my teammates. I wish them great success in the future. I especially will miss my many Oregon fans, whose chants of Igor, Igor spurred me on. Hopefully, with the coaching I received at Oregon, the hard work and the determination, I will hear those chants again in some distant city. I will be a Duck in my heart forever. Thank you.
It is obviously with a heavy heart that we say goodbye to Igor. I have been very appreciative of his performance here at our university, his development as both a football player and a leader. He's always been a tremendous asset to us in the weight room as a leader and as a guy that can motivate other people to exceed their own expectations. But he took on even a greater role this year as a verbal and vocal leader on the team. I think arguably he was one of the best defensive linemen, not just in this conference, but in the nation. And I think he is passing up the opportunity to be a first-round draft choice next year, but I'm sure that he will make it this year, and he has my complete blessing in this, something that I will wish him well and look forward to watching him play on Sunday. So, as I said, the Ducks' loss at this point, I think, is the NFL's gain.
I think the biggest factor is me being ready, and it was really a family decision. It wasn't just my decision. It was a whole family's decision. So.
The fact that you saw so many people get drafted this year,
Yes and no. Nothing's guaranteed. And seeing Haloti go down earlier this year, really had a big impact on me in a positive and a negative way. Made me appreciate what I had this year. Everyone supports me. All my friends support me and the decision that I made. I've been thinking about going to the NFL since I've started playing football. So, if that answers your question.
when did you settle on it?
After the bowl game.
That day or?
It was, a process. I'm not sure exactly the time frame and how long it took.
You don't feel at this point about where you might go or where you expect to go?
Like I said, there's no guarantees, and there's probably no validity in my expectations. So, my job is just to train my best and perform maximum my abilities. And I realized that I could only do so much, and wherever it falls into place, falls into place.
Mike, this is starting to feel more familiar with the statement about
I would hope so. I think that obviously if you have 3 or 4 guys go out and they make it, obviously the key for me is that they do make it, and none of our young men have made a mistake yet. I think it's been to their benefit to go out. They've made clubs and made money and are ahead of the game. And obviously I also know that Igor is going to graduate from college, and that's, I have his assurance and his family's, and I'm sure that carries a lot of weight. I would like to think that the talent level is increasing, but obviously I don't want to say such that we have a drain on that talent level either. So.
Last year, it seemed like one of the big problems for you guys as a staff was the timing of Georgia and Ontario. Is the timing of this one better? Do you guys move forward?
Yes, although I don't know that the timing is ever good when a junior goes out. But certainly the earlier in the process that we know it, the better, simply because we can then account for it with the recruiting and with the numbers and that type of thing.
You're started with an agent yet? What are your plans for the next?
I'd rather not say right now. On the account, I do plan to go train in Southern California, but
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I think that we talked about the fact that our defensive line next year could be certainly one of the most dominant, not just in this league, but in the nation. And we'll have to just work it a little bit differently than we had before. So it gives us more impetus for recruiting, and certainly the opportunities from within the program, there are more now for those kids that are here.
How much does it affect?
Well, we're going to sign approximately 6 defensive linemen, and we may bounce that to 7. It really just depends. We have enough numbers. We're going to recruit an entire football team. So I don't know that the numbers per se change that much. It's more, hopefully, we find someone of the same caliber and quality as Igor was as a young player. And I think we were fortunate that we had the opportunity to see him in camp before his senior year, and we had some local people down in his area that said he was going to be a great football player, and he certainly turned out to be that. I'm not sure exactly.
How far has he come?
Well, Igor's come a long way in all respects. His understanding of the game, his understanding of what the team concept was and competition was. He's a tremendous worker, and he will, in the NFL where numbers are important, his numbers will be awesome in terms of his strength and his speed and his explosive abilities and that type of thing. And he brought that to the table almost immediately. What he had to learn was that, that stopping the guy with the ball was the most important thing, and not necessarily just defeating the guy across from you. And I kidded him about that. I haven't seen a martial arts stance on the field since his freshman year, so that's good. He learned to settle things from snap to whistle, as we talk about. But most importantly, just the things that I will remember is the awesome displays in the weight room and the leadership he provided in that area. I'll tell you a true story, and this was the proofs that ran in USA Today with the fully armed, or whatever the title was. The photographer who took those proofs came back and said, "Gee, I'm sorry, I must have done something wrong. The proofs are ruined." And the person asked that person why. He said, "Well, there are bubbles all over Igor's arms," and they realized afterwards those weren't bubbles; those really were his muscles. So, true story.
You said your teammates are supporting your view. I think this gives them more incentive to work harder to see what you can do.
my goals always was to, not only help improve myself, but also help improve my teammates. And, if they look at me as someone where they want to, achieve what I've achieved in the weight room or whatnot, that's the ultimate compliment.
Do you have solid plans for school, or you want to graduate, but you're not sure what's
As right now I'm thinking my near future. I have to go train, and obviously after the draft and after the season, post off season, I'm going to really look into it, and call Coach Bellotti and try to get a counselor to figure out when's the best time and stuff like that.
How much work do you have to go?
I have about 6 classes in my major, and a little bit of units just to have enough units to graduate.
Situation where you lose two starting defensive tackles, you return two starting defensive tackles.
Yeah, we had originally anticipated that Haloti would take Junior's place, but now we have Robbie and Haloti, and obviously it does. We had said before that we need some defensive ends, and that has not changed. We had the luxury with Igor of playing him both inside and outside, which probably was a sacrifice on his part, because had he played at one position, it probably would have garnered him more honors and recognition. But he did that and never complained or questioned it, and did a great job for the team in that regard. So we lose some of the flexibility we've had, certainly, but it does provide opportunity for incoming recruits and people that are here in the program.